So I was telling you that we cannot use lead for preparing the metal from the dilute acid. The reason being, when lead is used with HCl and H2SO4, so it definitely reacts with them, right? But what happens when it reacts with HCl? It leads to the formation of lead chloride, and when it reacts with sulfuric acid, it leads to the formation of PbSO4, that is lead sulfate. So what happens? Where is the problem that we cannot use lead? The problem is here that though it reacts with the hydrochloric acid to form chloride, and though it reacts with the sulfuric acid to form sulfate, but what is the limitation is that then when it formed the lead chloride and lead sulfate, it just start forming the thin covering on the surface of the lead. So what happens? Only the surface one is being converted into the lead chloride and the hydrogen, but the rest of the lead remain unreacted. But we need a good amount of hydrogen gas, right? So what do we have? That means that we cannot use lead, because in lead only the surface is reacting, and after that it is just forming the layer which is just do not allowing the the lead from reacting. So that means most of the lead remained unreacted. So that means the lead cannot be used. So two important points you need to remember: HNO3 can't be used because it is a strong oxidizing agent. So instead of H2, if we will be using HNO3, instead of H2 we will be getting H2O. And moreover, the lead is not used, the reason being because it forms a covering of lead chloride and lead sulfate, right? And moreover, we cannot use the potassium, sodium, calcium as well. The reason being the reaction will lead to an explosion, right? So this is the second method which I have told you, that is the reaction of metal with the dilute acid. So the third method is the easy one, because you are already familiar with the first two methods. So third method is not a big deal. So what is that? I am just writing for you. So the third method is that the reaction of metal with bases. So like for example, I am taking an example of aluminium. So it's in the same way we are not, when we are reacting with them, we are not using these elements. The same reason being the reaction is exothermic. In three of the preparations, we are not using potassium, sodium and calcium in three of them. The reason being it is an exothermic reaction, and instead of getting H2, or you can say the H2 which gets liberated just catches fire, which leads to an explosion. So we can take the metals below the metals which occur below in the reactivity series, like starting from the magnesium, right? So the third metal I am taking an example, that is the aluminium. I am reacting it with the base. So when metal react with the base, what it forms? It is going to form sodium aluminate, and along with it obviously we are going to get our desired product, for which we are doing all these reactions, that is the H2. And moreover, similarly the zinc, when zinc reacts with NaOH, what it forms? It forms sodium zincate. Again our desired product H2. Right. So likewise we can react the metal with bases, and we will be getting the different salts, that is the sodium aluminate, sodium zincate, and along with that we are getting the desired product. One thing must be flashing in your mind, that when I have written the sodium aluminate, I haven't written this 2, and in this case I have written this 2. So don't get confused, don't ever get confused with 2, 3, 4 used in the chemical formula. It is just the matter of the valency. I told you in many lectures, just don't be afraid of chemical formulas, just learn the valency. They will act as a tool, and you will just get through the chemistry very well, right? So this is how we have discussed that the three general methods for preparing the hydrogen, that is the reaction of metals with the water. No matter, some metals reacts with the boiling water, some with the cold water, and some with the steam. And second is metal with dilute acids. The acid strictly is to be dilute acids, and do not use HNO3. I am telling you again and again. It is an important question which you often get, that the HNO3, why the HNO3 is not used. And the third one is the reaction of metal with the bases. So just keep in mind, just go through the valencies, and you can easily write